It's Brian Preston, the money guy.
A lot of people, here's what's in the brochure on RVs on why people like them. They qualify as a second home tax deduction. You can take mortgage interest deduction on them. But the problem is they depreciate like automobiles.
That's right.
You might get a tax deduction like a house. They depreciate like an automobile, unfortunately. They're not very fuel efficient.
Right.
I mean, these things still burn a lot of gas. There's a good chance you're going to pay somebody to let you keep the RV there.
Yeah, because most places you can't just keep it parked in your front yard. Can't keep it parked in your driveway.
I'm going to pick on one of my next door neighbors. They've moved back to Chicago, and I don't think he listens to the show. He bought an RV in the last year or so, and I think, and I don't know if he'll follow this. As far as I know, he's only used it twice.
Okay.
I'm not going to say how much he paid, but it's not cheap. But I know he was paying $100 to $150 a month just to have it parked.
Just to park it somewhere
like
that wasn't his
storage
house.
facility. And I mean, it seems good in theory. I just don't know that pull behind is going to add as much value, because everything in the brochure looks better than it is in reality. Because you have visions of your kids and the birds singing and the kids enjoying the campfire, and you're telling some story when you were 17 and the kids all sitting there, on their hands listening to you. What's more likely to happen is your kids are going to be ticked off that they're in the same room in the back bunk area together. They're going to be pulling each other's hair. You're going to be mad.
Burning through your data.
Yeah, I mean, it's just burning through your data, because that's what I had this crazy vision. I was going to rent an RV and go out to the Grand Canyon. And my teenager was like, Dad, you'll hate me because I'll burn through the data before we even leave the state. And she's right. I mean, she's exactly right. And then the other thing I thought is that, sure, RVs are fun. We love Georgia football.
Yep. Go Dogs.
We're both Bulldogs. I love, if you can have a friend, if you go down to Jacksonville for the Georgia-Florida game, if you have a friend with an RV, it's rock star.
It's good.
I mean, it is rock star status. Any football game to tailgate and stuff like that, especially with some of the RVs that they have at UGA. But do you want to own it? No, you want your friend to have to clean the black and gray tank after the weekend's over. Do you even know what a black and gray tank is?
I have no idea what that means.
Yeah, that's the gross stuff.
Oh.
Because think about it, RV is all encompassing. That's the black tank is the gross.
Oh.
The gray tank is what comes out of the sinks, like washing dishes.
Still
and stuff.
pretty gross.
So somebody has to deal with that stuff. I mean, that is all part of owning.
Is it weird? I've never thought about that before. I've never thought about it.
Where did you think it goes? I mean, we've all seen Christmas Vacation. I mean, we've all seen where he dumps it in the down in the sewer. I mean, it's less than ideal. It's better to build those memories in that friend's RV. So what's the healthy alternative to an RV? CruiseAmerica.com. You could actually rent. They have over 130 locations. When I did this show a few years ago talking about RVs, I think they only had 110 locations.
Yeah.
Now they have 130 locations across the country. Go check it out. You can go rent a camper, an RV, and see if it's something you really like.
And look, this is one where we have a lot of clients that they say that one of their big retirement goals is they want to go get an RV and go around the country. And that's great. If that's a goal, something you want to do. One thing we always encourage clients to do, especially if they've never actually done that trip before, rent one and go on a trip to see how you like it before you actually write a check and pay for one. It's a fantastic, easy thing to do to at least test drive it, no pun intended, to make sure it's something that makes sense for you and your family.
So this next one, but of course, we're going to talk about boats, but I got to get a prop. Hang on. Don't get mad. Don't get mad. I'm coming right back.
Did you know he was going off screen for this?
No, my memory on this cold medicine is so horrible that I had some great comments that I want to make sure I get them in here about this next one. So boat, break out another 1,000. This is from Michael, by the way. He might be, I don't know if he's tuning in or not, but break out another 1,000. We've all heard the joke that the two best days to own a boat is the day you buy it and the day you sell it.
That's right.
There's some, what happens with all humor? There's a little bit of
truth in it,
and all of it that kind of makes it good. And then here's something. Since Michael gave me a joke, I'll give him a little piece of advice that he said that his father gave him. And you know who Michael's father is. The advice he gave Michael was, you never finance a toy. And a boat is a toy, and it's an adult toy.
That's actually good.
So all
that's
these
a really
things,
good rule of thumb.
so it's really good advice if you think about that, because boats. Here's the visual I'll give you. Think about it. they always have a brochure with some young, scantily clad woman
Right.
that's on the boat with you. It's the best version of yourself. It's the same thing as the RV. Just in the RV, they got the kids, all looking all angelic.
Everyone's smiling.
But on the
happy.
boat, you got this hot, spouse with you. You're on the open water. It just seems great. I
Yeah.
mean, you can practically smell the sea air coming into your nose as you're on the open waters. There's boat shows where they get you excited about it. There's
Thousands of people come from all over.
But the problem is they never talk about the cost of maintenance, the cost of storage, the fuel.
Yep.
It's just all these things drag on you. And here's the stats that kind of blow my mind when you think about a boat. According to, this is that same book, Dr. Thomas Stanley's Stop Acting Rich, 93% of boat enthusiasts are not millionaires.
That's worth repeating. 93% of folks who would classify themselves as boating enthusiasts are not on paper millionaires.
I can tell why you're freaking out is because when you think about the order of operations or the pyramid of your financial life, a boat has got to be on the top of the purchase.
It's like the cherry. It's like at the very
you get
top.
this only after you've accomplished all these other financial goals. But obviously, if 93% of boating enthusiasts are not millionaires, somebody got the order of operations a little out of kilt there. And here's this will flip the script the other way. 70% of millionaires have never owned a boat.
So 70% of those folks who were interviewed by Dr. Stanley, classified as millionaires, have never owned a boat.
That's the majority of them. That's more than the majority of them. That's like the lion's share, but a sliver of 30% of them bought a boat at some point in their life. It doesn't even say they're current boat owners either. It just
says that at some point they've made that decision.
so it's one of those things where I think it's fun if you can have a friend or a relative who owns it 7 days a week, and you're just the friend that shows up on the Saturday or Sunday or the holidays and gets to ride in the boat.
And all you have to do is throw in for gas. I would say that's a win.
By the way, that's another negative. I mean, I had a very, one of my friends, his parents had a boathouse. I still have a friend in Georgia that has a great boathouse that I love going to, boats and stuff. But the thing is, the marina gas stations rip you off. It is not a deal. So all your smart people who own boats have 5-gallon containers riding around their pickup trucks where they
load it up back home and drive
and then put it in there. That's how it's just the gift that keeps on giving. Here's the alternatives to consider with a boat is boat clubs. I mean, if you're one of these people, instead of buying a boat that you're going to regret and have depreciation and all kind of things, maybe ease into this decision by considering a boat club where, you can pay just a monthly fee and then you also get access to more boats. And that's only if you really have this itch so much so, or maybe you're a wakeboarder or you're an outdoor enthusiast and this just makes sense for you. Consider doing something like that so you're renting that opportunity versus really chunking down a lot of money on a lifestyle.
Now, obviously, this varies depending on where you live and what part of the country you're in, but a lot of times we've actually seen that the cost of boat club memberships is the same or less expensive than the cost it would cost for you to just house your boat at the marina. So you can actually have access to a number of different boats and different type of boats for simply what you would pay to keep your boat stored there. Because one of the things with boats, just like an RV, you got to have somewhere to keep it in most places.